The numbers are finally out, and they tell a much bigger story than most people realize at first glance. The Baltimore Ravens just revealed every single detail of Olaivavega Ioane's contract. And I'm telling you right now, this completely changes how you should look at him before he even takes his first NFL snap. Because this isn't just about money. This isn't just another rookie coming in. This deal gives you real clues about his role, the level of responsibility he's walking into, and even what the Ravens are planning long-term to protect Lamar Jackson. To me, there are details here a lot of people are overlooking. But once you see the full picture, the expectations for Ioane go up immediately. The Ravens didn't leave any room for doubt the moment they drafted Olaivavega Ioane. His deal follows the standard first-round structure, 4 years, $23.2 million plus that fifth-year option, confirmed by Spotrac. And honestly, that alone already tells you how much confidence this organization has in him before he even steps on an NFL field. To me, this kind of investment isn't about, let's take it slow and develop him. That's not the situation here. When a player comes in with this type of contract, there's a real expectation he's going to play early. First-round picks in the NFL are expected to justify their spot. And with Ioane, the conversation already starts with him being viewed as someone who can contribute right away, especially protecting Lamar Jackson. There's also a strategic layer here that I really like. That fifth-year option gives the Ravens a ton of control over his future. If he performs the way they expect, and we'll get into that, they can keep him longer without rushing into a big extension or overpaying early. It's a smart way to protect their investment while evaluating his development at the pro level, and none of this happens by accident. The Ravens don't hand out this kind of commitment without a strong foundation behind it. Once you really look at what Ioane did at Penn State, it becomes very clear why this move happened so quickly, and why expectations for him are already high from day one. When you look at Ioane's career at Penn State, the Ravens' investment starts to make even more sense. He's not a one-year breakout type of player. This is someone who spent 4 seasons building consistency, understanding the game, and improving within the same system. To me, that matters way more than a single standout year. It shows he can sustain a high level over time. Last season, he started 11 games at left guard, a position he's basically played his entire career. He logged 614 total snaps, almost evenly split between run and pass plays. That's important because it shows he's not limited to one role. He was on the field in every key situation, handling real responsibility in the offense. What really stands out to me is that stability. No position changes, no forced adjustments, no patchwork usage. He mastered his role, and in the NFL that matters a lot. Offensive line isn't a position where you want to reinvent a player. You want someone who already knows exactly what he's doing. And this is where things get even more interesting. Because it's not just about being on the field. It's about how efficient he was, especially in pass protection, and those numbers are hard to ignore. This is where, to me, Ioane separates himself from a lot of other prospects. Over the entire season, he allowed just 4 pressures. 4, and even more impressive, 0 sacks allowed, and not a single quarterback hit. In a game where interior pressure can wreck a play instantly, that's elite-level performance. And here's the stat that really says everything. He hasn't allowed a sack since his redshirt freshman year. That's not a hot streak, that's a standard. That's high-level consistency over multiple seasons. When you see that, it becomes much easier to understand why the Ravens believe he's ready to help protect Lamar Jackson right away. To me, this is exactly the type of player Baltimore needs. A reliable guard who won't collapse the pocket and can hold up against interior pressure. This isn't about flashy plays or highlight moments. It's about executing at a high level, snap after snap. And when a player delivers that kind of performance, recognition naturally follows. It's not hype, it's not narrative, and it's a direct reflection of what he put on tape. Alright, we're already past the halfway point of this video. But before we keep going, I noticed you haven't hit the like button yet. And that really matters, because it helps YouTube keep showing Ravens content like this to you. So if you enjoy staying updated with the latest Ravens news, analysis, and everything happening around the team, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow, and it's completely free. I appreciate it. Ioane's season didn't go unnoticed. He earned first-team All-Big Ten honors and was named second-team All-American by the Associated Press. And this isn't just about awards, it's validation. These honors place him among the best at his position in the entire country. What stands out even more to me is his progression over time. In 2023, he had a more limited role, played 13 games, started 5, and earned honorable mention in the conference. In 2024, he took a step forward and made second-team All-Big Ten. Then this past season, he reached elite status. That's real development, not hype. To me, that's one of the strongest indicators you can get from a prospect. Players who improve year after year tend to keep growing once they reach the NFL. He's not someone who already peaked. He's still trending upward. But even with all that production and recognition, no prospect comes in perfect. And in Ioane's case, there's a very clear evaluation of where he fits best and where some limitations could show up. Lance Zierlein's evaluation really captures Ioane's profile. And this line stands out. Prototypical guard for physical run schemes. Projects as an early starter with a high floor. In other words, he's exactly the kind of guard who thrives in physical systems, strong, technically sound, and built to handle power. And he's coming into the NFL with real potential to start early. When I look at that, what stands out is his floor. He may not be the most athletic player in this class, but he's very unlikely to be a liability. He understands leverage, plays with balance, and sustains blocks effectively in both the run game and pass protection. Now, there is a concern you can't ignore. The report points out that he may struggle against more explosive defenders, especially those who attack quickly through gaps or win with sudden lateral movement. That's something he'll see more often in the NFL than he did in college. Even so, being completely honest, the overall outlook is positive. The Ravens know exactly what kind of player they're getting. And if the scheme fit is right, there's a real chance this turns into immediate impact from the very first snaps. What becomes clear after all of this is that the Ravens didn't just make another draft pick. They made a calculated move. Ioane's contract, his track record at Penn State, and most importantly, his consistency all point to one thing. This is a player with a real path to contributing early. To me, this isn't about slow development. It's about fitting in quickly and producing in a system that values exactly what he does well. At the same time, it's not a perfect scenario. And that's just the reality of the NFL. The mobility limitations are there. And adjusting to faster, more explosive defenders will be a real test early on. But honestly, his profile fits what Baltimore wants in a physical, disciplined, and reliable guard. If the fit is right, the return on this investment could show up sooner than people expect. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Ioane is ready to start right away in year 1? Or does he need time to adjust to the NFL level? Drop your take in the comments. I want to see how you're reading this Ravens move. And if you're a true Ravens fan and love keeping up with everything happening around the team, don't leave this video without sharing it with a friend who's just as passionate. They're definitely going to enjoy this. See those videos on your screen right now? I picked the first one especially for you, and the other is recommended by YouTube. Go check them out and I'll see you in the next video.